Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in again. We're doing a little bit of maintenance on the truck today, and basically what we're doing is going to be the front diff, your transfer case, and the rear diff. So this video is going to be the rear diff. I recommend doing them all at once. It just helps you keep track of when the oil's been changed. They're all very simple to do. You can do this like in your own garage with a couple basic tools and give yourself an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you'll have it all done. Fresh oil, and you don't have to keep track of 3 different things, because when the intervals come, your mileage or time or whatever you're going off of, you're going to be ready to change all 3 again, and it's just less hassle. You don't have to think about what you're doing. So for the rear diff, which we're going to be doing today, you're looking for full synthetic. That's very important. 100% full synthetic. For my truck anyway, I have the rear locker on mine, so we're 75 W140. If you don't have the rear locker, you can use 75 W90, which in the manual, it also says you can actually use it for this truck as well. That's up to you. I used 140 last time I filled this thing up, and I've had no issues. It's been running great. And you don't need 3 full bottles. Last time I did this, I needed 2, and this is actually the oil that was left over from before. So just about 2.5 bottles, I'd say. And these are 1 quart. If you look on the front here, 946 mils. So like I said, 2 and a little bit, and it's going to be a little bit different for you guys unless you have the ARB cover, but I'll explain that once we get under the truck. All right, so underneath the truck, like I said, I have the ARB cover on mine, so it's a little bit different. My fill is actually up here. So if you have the stock cover on yours, your fill is going to be right here around the A. It's going to look like the drain plug on the front of the ARB cover here, but it's going to be higher up. So when you fill it, all you got to do, squirt it in that hole until it fills up and starts to drip out a little bit. Once it starts to drip out a little bit, good enough, it's full. Put your plug back in, and Bob's your uncle, you're done. For me, I fill from the top. This is actually a little dipstick. You'll see it. When I installed this, I put a little mark on the top of there, or where the fluid should line up. It's right around here, similar to the bottom of the A is where you want to fill it. Now, no matter what people say, if you're a little bit under or a little bit over, it's not going to hurt anything. And I mean in a little bit, like, don't fill it up to the top here and go, oh, well, you know, it was close. But if you're a smidge up or a smidge down, it's going to work fine. It's going to do its job. You just don't want to have it way under or way over. So don't stress about that when you're doing this. But for my cover anyways, and now you can see, living in Canada, how all these bolts are rusting. Even the front plate here is rusty, but whatever, is what it is. But what I'm going to do, and this is where you want to drain everything. If you look under here, right there is your drain plug. So get yourself your oil pan, put it under there. What I recommend, and now I'm going to pop this one off, always, always, always do your fill plug first, because if you drain it and you can't for some reason get the fill plug out, you're hooped. You need oil in here to run. So if you can't fill it up and you've already drained it, that's it. You're getting this towed to get fixed somewhere else. So always pop the top one off first, then get your drain plug. Second reason for that is it's going to allow the airflow. So if we were just to pop the bottom plug off right now, it's going to come out and kind of go blah, blah, blah. Whereas if you take this out, it's going to be a nice, quick, steady flow of oil out. It'll drain. You won't have the oil splish splashing everywhere, making a mess. And it's just going to make your life easier. So always, always do the fill first. And now it's the same for your stock one. These things are not very tight. This specific model anyways, on the rear diff, you don't have a crush washer, even on the stock face. No crush washer on the fill or the drain. It's just thread them back in. You don't have to go crazy with the crush washers, which is what the older models have. Usually around between 25 and 30 foot-pounds is when those aluminum washers will start to crush. So I would say aim for around there, nowhere more than 30 foot-pounds when you're cranking this stuff back down after it's filled, and you won't worry about stripping anything, and you won't have any headaches in the future. Now, I got this one cracked. What you're going to want to do before you take this completely out, wipe it all down because you don't want to get any of this dirt and dust in there because it's going to be in there and wrecking your gears. So get it as clean as you can and then start removing everything else. All right, so we got it cleaned up and the plug out, and you can see with the ARB, the little tip on here is actually a magnet. So between this, that bottom part we're going to take out too is a magnet on this one, and then your stock fill or drain plug on here is also a magnet. So between the three, a little bit, like you can see this, the oil's pretty black, that's why it's time to change it, but you do have just a smidge of kind of black sludge on the end or the tip there. That's normal. You don't have to worry about that. You're going to have that on this and the front, and basically it's just wear and tear. It's normal. It's going to end up looking like that. What you don't want to see is like obviously big chunks or really big flakes. Little flakes are all right as well, but you don't want to see anything big and metal on these things. Otherwise you probably have a bigger issue, and you're going to want to take your front cover off here and actually inspect the gears, because that's going to be a bigger issue. So next, to drain this out, now that we have the fill open, just get your ratchet, because your ratchet fits right in the bottom there. Now I already have this loose. Again, it doesn't have to be extremely tight. Get it a little bit loose. You don't want to drain the oil all over your ratchet. So get it started. Get your oil pan under there properly and just get ready. This stuff, keep in mind, it stinks. So thread it out just like so and let her pour. And again, black is all right. If you look at the plug, between the magnet on the stick and then the magnet in there, we're seeing that nothing is actually getting to the magnet on the bottom. So that's a really good sign. The oil actually is not too bad. I know it looks kind of browny black in the video, but you can see the stuff that got on my fingers. It's actually pretty clear still when it's all said and done. So keep a rag handy, because this does make a little bit of a mess as you go through and do this stuff. But let that drain. You want to get as much out of there as you can. So while we're doing that, I'm going to pop out this bottom plug so you guys can see if there's anything on that. Then we'll get everything cleaned up, wipe it off, use your rag, get everything nice and clean, nice and spotless again. And again, when you put these in, you don't need any Teflon tape or sealer or anything. Just put it in, crank it down, like I said, 30 max for the foot-pounds, and you'll never have a leak. So we're going to sit here, let this do its thing, and we'll get back to you in a minute. All right, so we pulled the bottom magnet out because that's going to catch more than the bottom stock spot will, because like I said, this comes with a long magnet like this. And as you can see, again, like I said, little flakes and speckles like that. It looks more like more than it is because it all gets stuck to the magnet, but the magnet's doing what it's supposed to do. So little bits like that, you're fine. Just wipe it off, plug the hole back up. You can see this one's almost done draining. It's dripping a little bit, another 5-10 minutes. Let most of it drain. As much as you can get out of there, the better. So we'll get this cleaned up, put it back in, and we'll get the bottom plug back in, and then we can start filling her back up from the top. And then very important, when you are putting these back in, make sure you do not have it cross-threaded. So rule of thumb, if you got to struggle with it, you're doing it wrong. It should easily, just like this one did, thread in by hand. Same goes for the bottom, and if you're doing this and you have the ARB cover, same goes for the top. So thread it by hand all the way in, and then this is where you'll torque it down if you want to do a torque spec. If you don't have a torque wrench, just make it tight and it's good enough. It's not going anywhere. All right, so now that you got the bottom plug in, or if you have the ARB, the bottom and the bottom one on the cover in, you're going to want to fill this up. Now I got 2 ready to go because I know it's going to take 2 full plus a bit to fill this thing up. So after I do that, you can start messing around and trying to figure out where your fill mark is. So on here, because the ARB comes with this dipstick, you can see right there in the middle, I put a little nick. That was on purpose, because when this is in and tight, right about between the A and the border around the letters is your fill point on this cover. So I made a mark, and that is where you want to fill your oil up to. If you don't have this, like I said, you're just going to keep filling until it starts to drip back out and you know it's full. For me, I'm going to have to put this in, thread it in just hand tight, get it down, pull it back out, and you're going to look at your dipstick, same as if you're changing your oil. So, little nice thing with the ARB, it's a little bit more of a pain to fill it up, but again, that's got a magnet, it's got an extra magnet there, you got your stock magnet, so it's going to collect everything that's in there. And then another note, cut the tip of these off pretty big because this oil is thicker and it's going to take a little bit to pour it all out of there, especially out of a little nozzle. So just keep your finger over top, flip it upside down, poke it in the hole, let it go. And we're going to drain 2 out completely, and then we'll use our 3rd one to top it up at the end. And now just to show you how thick this oil is, I got this upside down in the hole, and you would sit here all day. That's never going to drain all the way in. You got to give it little squeezes. And then it'll go. That's why the squeeze bags would be nice for this, if that's an option for you. But just keep squeezing and make sure you get every last little drop in there. All right, so we got 2 full bottles in there now. So we're gonna test with the dipstick. And now it's very hard to see with this, especially with new fluid. But again, put it in, make sure it's not cross-threaded. You don't have to get it all the way down snug, but like I said, you wanna be pretty close with this stuff. So put it in there like that. It's not crank tight with a ratchet or anything like that. But that's going to get you closer to your actual level, because if you go off of the threads here, you do actually gain, I don't know, 1/4 inch maybe, so it's going to be that far out, and you don't want it to be that far out when you're doing this. So again, this thing's magnetic, but if you pick this up, now see if the camera will focus on it. You can see that on the line that I made, it's not quite there. But it's about, I don't know, try to get in the middle of your screen. If I tip it this way, that little drip, it's about right there for fill wise right now. If the camera's not picking it up, I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see that or not. So we'll wipe this off. We'll put a little bit more back in there with the 3rd extra bottle, and then that should get us right at the mark we're looking for. And a little pro tip from me to you. This is a fresh cap on the old bottle. Take it off, put one of those caps on, switch it over to this bottle, use what you need, switch the cap back, and then when you save that for next time like I did, if it tips over in your garage or whatever, you don't have to worry about it spilling because you got a fresh cap on there. And then with this one, just like that, little bits at a time, check it over again. If you have the front fill on yours, this is a little bit of an easier step, because like I said, you can just wait for it to start trickling out the front, and then you put your cap or your fill plug back in, job's done. And then once you got it all filled up and you're happy with the fluid level, put your plug back in. Again, you don't have to go crazy on this. Make it tight, and then just give it a couple quick little pulls, and that is more than enough. If you're worried about it, drive around for a little bit, come back out, crawl under, check for leaks, especially on the bottom. That's the major one. And if nothing's leaking, you're all good, and your diff fluid is changed. So hopefully this video helped you out. If you liked it, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because we're going to move to the front of the truck. Like I said, we're going to do the transfer case and the front diff as well. So as for the rear diff, that'll do it for this video. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the other ones.